by taking his flute to his lips. At that very moment, the cranes, swans, and other lake-dwelling birds, their minds overcome by the attractive song, approach attractive Krishna, close their eyes, and maintain strict silence, fixing their consciousness upon him. Quite a scene, huh? Commentary. Tired at noon, he takes a bath in a large lake and then quickly puts on tilak and a garland with little decoration, eating a picnic lunch with his friends in a wide, elevated area, sitting on a stone slab under a huge tree after sending the boys for gathering the cows, paying attention to the bees which have been attracted to his new garland and are his only association, he enjoys playing his flute. The gopis describe this. What to speak of the trusting trees? Hear what happened to the living birds. He wears a garland made of most attractive flowers and most fragrant tulsi, which attracts bees because of its honey. Since all the bees would completely cover him, they instead circle around as if intoxicated, with the strong ones pushing away the weaker ones so that they can come close to Krishna. Because they are intoxicated, they sing loudly. That is the special nature of their song. The song which they sing by their nature as bees is most attractive, abhishtam, to Krishna, because it expresses extreme eagerness. Just on starting to play a pleasurable song on his flute, all the birds, cranes, swans, and chakravakas dwelling in the lake come to that song and approach Upasate, Krishna, famous for his attractive nature. Harim. Next is Jiva Goswami in his Vaishnava Toshani, that's the exclusive commentary to the 10th canto. He goes back to a verse from chapter 30 of Canto 10. Chapter 30 is part of the Rasa Lila section, and it's specific. It's the gopis are searching for Krishna because Krishna saw them. Because Krishna wanted to be with Radha alone, so he split, and Radha knew what was going on, so she went with Krishna, and then the gopis are searching for Krishna. And they're calling out to different entities, different devotees in the forest, asking, did you see Krishna? Has he gone this way? And so forth. So this is the gopis speaking, searching for Krishna. Oh, trees, when the younger brother of Rama walked by here, followed by intoxicated bees swarming around the tulsi buds decorating his garland, his arm on the shoulder of his beloved, holding a lotus in his right hand, did he acknowledge your obeisances with his affectionate glances? That's the verse, and here's Jiva Goswami's commentary. Unsure when the female doe remained silent and staring, that's from the previous verse, they spoke to did you see Krishna? But the doe remained silent. and staring, thinking the female though was stunned with great sorrow on seeing the pain of separation in the gopis. The Sakis left the doe and, seeing trees bowing low with fruits and flowers, thinking they were offering respects, they inquired from them. In this verse also, by praising the items offered to Krishna by the trees, they attained great joy. This is the meaning. Quote, "O trees, did the brother of Balaram take joy in your respects or not? By showing affectionate glances?" They praise the qualities of these seers of Krishna's movements by indicating that the trees are the qualified objects of his mercy and affection. Quote, "Why would he not acknowledge our respects?" Trees responding. Gopis, "He was absorbed in sweet pastimes with his beloved." The gopis knew this because of the fragrance. They were skillful at understanding their intimate pastimes, their Radha Krishna's intimate pastimes. That is indicated in this verse by the description of Krishna resting his arm on her shoulder. The reason for Krishna's not acknowledging the trees was that he was wandering around, charan, anxious for a place for his pastimes. Quote, "He always wanders around looking. What is special about that today?" That's the tree's response. Answer, "His arm was on the shoulder of his beloved who has great affection for him. Because her shoulder is tender, he places his arm there very lightly." Upa. The trees. "He has come to show her to us. Why would he not acknowledge us?" Answer, "He is followed by swarms of bees, and he is absorbed in swinging a lotus in his right hand to prevent the bees from approaching his beloved. How can he acknowledge you?" This verse also indicates the superb fragrance of the tulsi plants in the pastime forest. Quote, this is from our chapter 35, text 10, which we're reading this morning. Quote, "Maddened by the divine honey-like aroma of the tulsi flowers on the garland Krishna wears, swarms of bees sing loudly for him. He is followed by bees, blind with intoxication from drinking the nectar." Paragraph, "The special fragrance which arises when he presses against her body to protect her from the bees is shown. This indicates praise for the tulsi. The Vaijayanti garland, which was mentioned in 10:29:44, and in this chapter, verse 7, it is mentioned that Krishna wears tulsi. Because it is described as most excellent, it should be inferred that he wears a tulsi garland. A garland of kunda flowers was mentioned in verse 11. It should be inferred that the Vaijayanti and kunda garlands were given up because they disintegrated. He has several garlands each day. So do the deities. There's garland makers, and they're happy in that service. By praising the various items, the gopis show their pleasure. The meaning of each word can be studied, and as in the previous verse, the speakers of this verse were friends of Radha. On the other hand, the following verse is spoken by an opposing faction. Quote, "These footprints of that special gopi greatly disturb us. Of all the gopis, she alone was taken away to a secluded place where she is enjoying the lips of Krishna. Bhagavatam 10:30. I'm going to end there because the next section is where this verse is referred to in Bhakti Sandarbha. You can see Jiva Goswami is a prolific writer. So, in the next section, it's making reference to the 11th canto of Bhagavatam, where the stages of bhakti, Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama, are being detailed. And Jiva Goswami is taking the opportunity in his commentary to speak about the Uttama stage of the residents of Vrindavan from this section, and particularly focusing on the gopis. So it's maybe a little challenge, because this subject matter is so elevated, to have discussion maybe like, what are you going to say about this? But there may be some questions. So if there are persons present that would like to ask something, that's fine. And then we'll go to the online questions next.
Guru Maharaj, it seems like the gopis fluctuate between pushing Radha forward to be with Krishna, and then it seems like in what you read, there's some seeming envy of who's that?
Left-wing gopis. That's Chandravali's group. Now, the right-wing gopis, they also want to be present when Krishna's with Radha. They certainly want to honor what Krishna wants and what Radha wants, but they also want to be present. So it's, our emotional states fluctuate, even in transcendence. But Krishna's pleasure is the target. So even when they're acting or speaking that seems to be contrary, it's Krishna's pleasure. There isn't anything else in their heart but Krishna's pleasure. And it varies according to the internal potencies sway upon them. Unlike us, that it's the external potency, the illusory potency that sways our emotions this way, that way. But there's left-wing, right-wing. There's those that take the position of competitors of Radha. And that enhances the sweetness of Krishna's pastimes. It's for his pleasure. There's all variegatedness. It's not bland. It's not emotionless. It's not blissed out. There's all varieties of emotion. And there's one thing that's at the center, and that's Krishna's pleasure, and there isn't anything else. So then, with that regard for Krishna, then he reciprocates in all kinds of colorful, variegated ways. It's not the same elsewhere. Let's say Vaikuntha. It's majesty, which is pure. And here it's majesty is eclipsed by sweetness. And so it's very colorful. But one thing, there's the love for Krishna. Krishna's pleasure is everything. Again, even when the actions and speech are seemingly contrary. It's for Krishna's pleasure. A lesser form of that, because we were just last 2 Sundays discussing Bhishma Dev. He took positions at times that were contrary, apparently, to his dasya rasa. But that has something to do with the intimacy of his loving service, because he was he wanted to bring out, and he brought out Krishna's greatest qualities. And it was delightful for Krishna. There was no enmity. Though it might certainly look like it, he was ready to kill Arjuna. Sounds like enmity. But he knew what Krishna would do, so he took that position. So Krishna did, and enjoyed. It's not to say that these associates of Krishna, that they're just play acting. That's another part of the mystery. I guess that ends the class. What to do? We'll just end. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.